So this is the lecture 3 of shares and debentures of Company Accounts and Audit, or CAAP, June 2022 attempt for CMA Intermediate. ठीक है, तो शेयर्स एंड डिबेंचर्स का लेक्चर 3 है. हमने कल थोड़ा पार्ट किया था, इंट्रोडक्शन किया था, कंपनी क्या होता है, कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, स्टैट्यूटरी बुक्स, statistical books. Okay, we've done company's introduction, characteristics, statutory statistical books, that is books of account and all that. Okay, and then we had ended with the long-term sources of finance. And I told you that this is basically the summary of the entire chapter. This one we'll be studying this whole thing in this chapter. Okay, so now let's go ahead. ठीक है, तो ये अब हम आगे जाएंगे. So now we are doing issue of shares. Okay, then issue of shares, let's first see different types of share capital. ठीक है, तो हम अभी types of share capital देखेंगे, जिसमें एक है authorized capital होता है, issued capital होता है, subscribed capital होता है, called up और paid up capital होता है. ठीक है, तो अब ये जो यहाँ पढ़ने से अच्छा, let us take an example. So what we'll do, these are 5 types of capitals. Let us take an example and then you will understand this very easily, right? So now say authorized capital is the maximum capital with which a company can be registered. Okay, so it's the maximum capital with which a company can be registered. Right, so say this is 1000, for example. Face value per share is 10 rupees. So total shares will be 100. Okay, so this becomes your authorized capital. Now companies do not issue all shares in the authorized capital at once. Reason being that they might have, different businesses. One business they are starting now, so they will only use that much of capital as is needed, right? Otherwise the company will become over capitalized. You don't want to keep more than that capital what is required for the current requirement. Okay, right? So then this is your authorized capital, right? So next is, so what do you want to issue out of this authorized capital? Okay, so for example, I have got 2 businesses which planned in my mind. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay, so say we have got 2 business planned right now with the authorized capital. Okay, so one is your, let us say, transport business, and another one is let us say some other catering business. Okay, we have planned these 2. So now we are starting with the transport, only one business, so we need only 600 now. The other business maybe will start after 6 months or so, once this stabilizes, or maybe after a year. So we'll issue only 600, that is 60 shares. 60 shares at 10 will be 600. ठीक है, तो ऑथराइज्ड कैपिटल आपका मैक्सिमम कैपिटल है जिससे आप रजिस्टर करते हैं. तो नॉर्मली हायर एंड रखते हैं, इसका कोई लिमिट नहीं है सच. ठीक है, तो जितना जरूरत है उस हिसाब से अपन करते हैं इसको. तो ये फ्यूचर का सोच के हम करते हैं कि नेक्स्ट 5 years 10 years में क्या करना है, उस हिसाब से हम ये कैपिटल को सेट करते हैं. अब इश्यूड कैपिटल, ये करंटली हमको कितने पैसे चाहिए उस हिसाब से हम करते हैं. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे इश्यूड है 660 शेयर्स. ठीक है, अब इश्यू तो मैंने कर दिया, जरूरी नहीं कि पब्लिक सारे शेयर्स ले लेगी. करेक्ट, मैंने तो इश्यू कर दिया, लेकिन पब्लिक भी सब लेंगी जरूरी नहीं है. सब्सक्राइब ये बताते कि पब्लिक ने कितना सब्सक्राइब किया. तो 60 मैंने इश्यू किया था, पब्लिक ने 55 सब्सक्राइब किया. सब्सक्राइब कैपिटल टेल्स me how much public has taken up. Okay, for example, I had issued 60 shares here, but public has taken up 55 shares. Okay, so that becomes your subscribed capital. So here it is, it becomes 550, 55 into 10. Okay, so till here basically these are all absolute numbers. Okay, we don't talk about the installments within shares till here, right? Because there are installments in shares itself. You have application amount, allotment amount, okay, first call amount, second call amount, whatever, final call amount. Okay, so say if your second call is the final call, what do you call it? You call it second and final call. If your first call itself is the last call, you will call it first and final call. Okay, so now next is called up capital. So within that, within your 10 rupees of face value, आपका 10 रुपया फेस वैल्यू, इसी का समझ लीजिए आप 4 इंस्टॉलमेंट में बुला रहे हैं, एप्लीकेशन में 2.5, अलॉटमेंट में 2.5. सो नाउ you have say 4 installments, 2.5 each. Okay, application 2.5, allotment 2.5, first call, and then final call 2.5. Okay, so now we are only calling whatever is required. Always the companies, they call what is required, right? We just do not want to have, unused capital with us. So 2.5 is 5. So basically this will be half of this. Okay, half of this. ठीक है, अभी हमने कॉल्ड अप यानी 5 रुपए बुलाए हैं अभी तक. ठीक है, तो सब्सक्राइब कैपिटल का आधा आपका हो गया कॉल्ड अप कैपिटल, राइट? ओके, सो कॉल्ड अप कैपिटल इज हाफ ऑफ दिस. Then okay, so now from called up capital, this was called up, but not all installments are received on time. Okay, so say one shareholder hasn't paid this allotment money, 2.5. So this will be my paid up capital, which will be called up minus this 2.5 not received. So this gives me 272.5. Okay, this is my paid up capital. It is the real cash which I have in hand. That is your paid up capital. And this 2.5 which we talked about here, this is called your calls in arrears. ठीक है, तो ये है आपके अलग अलग इंस्टॉलमेंट्स. तो हमने ये तीनों जैसे ये देखा, ये यहाँ तक हम इंस्टॉलमेंट्स की बात नहीं करते, विद इन शेयर के इंस्टॉलमेंट्स की नहीं, फुल शेयर की बात होती है यहाँ पे. ठीक है, और यहाँ से जो है आप इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में आना चालू होते हैं कॉल्ड अप से. When you talk about application, allotment, installment. ठीक है, फिर बाद में पेड अप कैपिटल जो कितना आपने कॉल अप किया है माइनस कितना नहीं दिया है, जैसे इसको बोलते हैं कॉल्स इन अरियर्स. जो नहीं दिया है वो है कॉल्स इन अरियर्स. ये ओके, सो बेसिकली योर कॉल्ड अप कैपिटल लेस कॉल्स इन अरियर्स will give you what? Will give you your paid up capital. ठीक है, so you understood the basics. ये समझ गया सबको? ये है बेसिकली आपके इंस्टॉलमेंट्स के बेसिक्स शेयर के. So again here you can see subscribed capital is what the public has subscribed. Okay, 55 people have subscribed to my capital. This is your subscribed capital. Now I will be calling up amounts from them based on each installment. Now because they have subscribed it 2.5, they would have already paid, correct? Because when they would have submitted the application, right, after I issued and I am saying they have subscribed, that means they have paid 2.5, right? So now whenever I ask for the second installment, okay, whenever I ask for the second installment 2.5, okay, what will happen is, let us, I mean all of them would ideally pay. ठीक है, so ये सभी लोग पे करेंगे. कभी कभी होता है किसी का मिस हो जाता है. Okay, say 1%. So the called up capital here is the entire 2.5 plus 2.5, that is 5. Okay, 5 into 55. If you do 5 into 55, you will get 275. This is your called up capital. Okay, and from the called up amount, if say someone hasn't paid one installment of 2.5, okay, just reduce 2.5 from this 275, you will get this paid up amount. And this 2.5 here, this 2.5 is called calls in arrears. Okay, clear everyone? ठीक है, इसमें कुछ डाउट? क्योंकि ये अपना बेसिक है, इसी को लेके हम आगे चलेंगे. ये टेबल आपको पहले समझना है कि क्या है. ओके, सो चलिए let's move ahead because there are some other things which we can cover now. So next is, see, this is about publication of authorized, subscribed and paid up capital. Okay. So how, the manner in which you have to print authorized, subscribed and paid up capital, that is given by section 60. Okay, so not really necessary to learn this section, not necessary. Okay, so here see what it says is, where any notice, advertisement or other official publication, okay, so any official publication of the company, like any notice it is taking out, advertisement, whatever, okay, or any other business letter, bill head or letter paper, any kind of communication basically, ठीक है. ये दो लाइन बोल रहे हैं कि कोई नोटिस, एडवर्टाइजमेंट या कोई भी टाइप का कम्युनिकेशन जो कंपनी निकालता है, ठीक है, और उसमें आपका स्टेटमेंट ऑफ ऑथराइज्ड कैपिटल होता है कि ऑथराइज्ड कैपिटल हमारा इतना है करके आपने बताया है. सो वेरेवर यू हैव टेकन आउट एनी एडवर्टाइजमेंट, ओके, नोटिस और एनी अदर कम्युनिकेशन फॉर दैट मैटर, and there you have mentioned that your authorized capital is this much, then there is a binding on the company that they have to mention also in an equally prominent position. ठीक है, यानी ऐसा नहीं है कि जैसे authorized capital फर्स्ट पेज में बताया और बाकी आप आखिरी पेज में बता रहे, नहीं, इक्वली उसके बाजू में बताना है आपको, और इक्वली कॉन्स्पिक्यूअस कैरेक्टर्स, यानी एक अच्छा बड़े फॉन्ट में बता दिए, दूसरे छोटे से फॉन्ट में बता रहे हैं, not like that. ठीक है, okay, so here equally prominent position is the position, okay, that is when authorized capital is in first page, other two should also be in first page. Second one, characters, talks about the font size, should not be that one is in big font and another thing you do not want people to see, so you just reduce the font, no, okay. So it should also contain an equally prominent position and equally conspicuous characters, subscribed and amount paid up. So why this rule has been taken out, I'll tell you. You all know that authorized capital is just a generic figure, right? Company say can go for an authorized capital of 1 crore. Say I have started a company with authorized capital of 1 crore. Okay, this is my authorized capital. But my paid up capital is only 10 lakhs because that is sufficient to run my business, right? This I have just defined. So wherever I am sending any notice or anything, just to show people that I am a very big brand, I'll publicize, say authorized is 1 crore, right? So that misleads people basically. So which is why Companies Act says that wherever you are printing authorized capital anywhere in any communication, with it always put subscribed and paid up capital. So people should know the real position also. ठीक है, समझ गए ना? ऑथराइज्ड कैपिटल तो आप कितना भी कर सकते हो, उसका कोई लिमिट नहीं है, वो रियल मनी भी नहीं है वो. तो ये आप करेंगे प्रिंट की मिसलीड करने के लिए, आप कर सकते हो कि ये मेरा बहुत बड़ा ब्रांड है दिखाने के लिए, ठीक है. रियल चीज क्या है आपका? पेड अप कैपिटल आपका रियल है ना. तो इसीलिए वो बोल रहा है कि ऑथराइज्ड के साथ आपको सब्सक्राइब्ड और पेड अप कैपिटल भी दिखाना है. ओके, ये पॉइंट बोल रहा है, और ये बहुत सीरियसली लिया है कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 ने इस पॉइंट को. दिस पॉइंट हैज बीन टेकन वेरी सीरियसली. So if there is a default, company fine is of 10,000 rupees, and every officer in default, so the person who is actually involved in that printing, okay, all those officers in default, okay, directors and all that, who are part of it, 5,000 rupees. Okay, and this is for each default. And now I have sent out a notice, I have put only authorized capital, company has to pay 10,000. I am a director, I have actually sent it out, I have to pay 5,000. If 4 directors are there, all 4 are involved in that publication, all 4 5,000 each. Okay, now 2 days later I have to send another notice, again I put only authorized capital, again fine. Okay, got it? So ठीक है, तो समझ गए ना आप? हिंदी स्टूडेंट भी समझ गए होंगे मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ ये बात. तो इसमें ये जो है आपको याद रखने के लिए मैंने थोड़ा ये जो है इजीली याद रखने के लिए ये बोल क्या रहा है शॉर्ट में, ये बोल रहा है कि ऑथराइज्ड कैपिटल के साथ ऑलवेज शो सब्सक्राइब्ड एंड पेड अप कैपिटल, बस इतनी बात. ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये बस इतना बताया गया है कि ये सब तो आप अपने वर्ड में लिख सकते हो, नोटिस और ऑफिशियल पब्लिकेशन, ऐसा कुछ आप डाल सकते हैं, वर्ड टू वर्ड लिखने की जरूरत नहीं, बिजनेस लेटर्स डाल दीजिए यहाँ, चलेगा, नो प्रॉब्लम, ठीक है, सारे वर्ड्स की जरूरत नहीं। इसमें मेन पॉइंट ये कवर होना चाहिए कि ऑथराइज्ड कैपिटल के साथ हमेशा आपको ये दोनों दिखाना है, ठीक है। सो हियर लाइक यू कैन फ्रेम दिस इन योर ओन वर्ड्स, बट main position is that with authorized capital subscribed and paid up should be shown, otherwise there are fines. There are lots of fines actually in companies at 2013. So be alert to this because there will be too many fines. I'll as of now we move ahead, I'll show all earlier fines to you together, so you can, you can see everything in one page. At the end of the chapter also I'll give you a list of fines separately, okay. But it's not a good idea to learn everything at the end because there'll be too many. So as and how we do, just go on, learning these limits, okay. It's difficult at the end to learn it together, ठीक है। तो ये इसका क्या, इसका जो यूज है क्या है इसका, ठीक है। एज सच क्या, ये जो देखिए, एक तो है कि आपके कोर्स में जो है ना मेमोरी को आपको टेस्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, वो उनका मेन ये नहीं, तो इसलिए आपको ये लिमिट्स ज्यादा नहीं पूछते हैं। जो कभी कभार ऑब्जेक्टिव वगैरह में आ गया तो आप नहीं भी याद किए तो आपका कुछ बहुत बड़ा नुकसान नहीं है। सो इवन इफ यू डोंट लर्न, you won't lose anything too much, because here the thing is, the exam purpose is to test your knowledge of the subject, okay, not really test your memory, because these things you will have once you become a professional. You will have all booklets and all to refer and see these limits, okay, okay. So this is publication of authorized capital, okay. Now next thing is issue of application forms. So when shares are issued, along with that application forms are also issued, ठीक है। शेयर्स जब आपके इश्यू होते हैं तब एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म्स भी साथ में इश्यू होते हैं उसके, ठीक है। तो उसके साथ साथ क्या होना चाहिए वो ये बता रहा है कंपल्सरीली। when shares are issued, application forms are issued with it. So application form must be accompanied by abridged prospectus, okay. So prospectus is something, it's a huge document. It's like, it will have 60-80 pages, even more, many times 200 pages and all that, because it tells you everything about the project, okay. Now abridged prospectus for an average investor, see, I don't want to know, an average investor is buying some shares, he just wants some dividend, okay. He doesn't need to know the entire history of the company, he only wants some key financials, correct. So this abridged prospectus only has some key elements, normally small thing, two pages, 4 pages, 6 pages, like that, okay. And your application form, nowadays it's also a part of your prospectus. In the abridged prospectus itself, you have application form also, and you have those features also, like that they give nowadays, okay. So basically this section says application form must be accompanied by abridged prospectus. I'll show you one abridged prospectus so you would know how it looks like, okay. So why abridged prospectus? So that the user can see those financials and decide, okay. That is why it is saying that. But this won't apply to application form issued for or issued to and for an underwriting agreement, and which is not offered to the public. Now, and underwriters, we have a separate chapter for underwriting, not chapter, but a sub-chapter here. So we'll be talking about the accounting treatment of underwriting separately, okay? Or बहुत important है, it is frequently asked. Right, so underwriters basically are something who sell the shares for the company, okay? In short, okay? So because we are going to deal with it later. For you, in short, they sell the shares for the company, right? So they are big people, they deal in huge money, so they already have all data of the company. So this abridged prospectus is for the safety of the average investor. So this is not, he's not an average investor. Similarly, when shares are not offered to the public, it's like a, either it's like a privately placed issue. So they are offered to people known to them, okay, who are normally, bigger level people, right? So this section is for protecting the average person, which is why these two have been excluded, ठीक है। तो ये दोनों को क्यों exclude किया गया कि ये abridged prospectus आपको अटैच करना ही है, ठीक है, ये रूल से ये दोनों को exclude किया गया। क्यों? क्योंकि एब्रिज प्रोस्पेक्टस तो शॉर्ट फॉर्म है ना, इनके पास तो लॉन्ग डेटा, पूरा डेटा है इनके पास, ये लोग दे आर क्लोजर पीपल टू द डायरेक्टर्स एंड ऑल, ठीक है, तो इसीलिए इनके लिए इट्स नॉट कंपल्सरी, बट बेसिकली वंस दे सेंड एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म, ऐसा तो नहीं करेंगे कि इसके लिए लगाएंगे इसके लिए नहीं लगाएंगे, वो सबके लिए लगाते हैं बेसिकली एब्रिज प्रोस्पेक्टस। ओके, अब एब्रिज प्रोस्पेक्टस दिखता कैसे है, आई जस्ट शो इट टू यू, एक मैं बताता हूँ कि आपको, 1 मिनट, बस एक कॉपी होगा उसका, जस्ट टू शो यू। सेकेंड, one moment, I'll just search in Google itself. One moment. एक मिनट, मैं आपको एब्रिज प्रोस्पेक्टस का एग्जांपल दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। फाइल था मेरे पास लेकिन not able to locate it, so maybe चलिए, नो 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 प्रॉब्लम, मैं आपको आई विल जस्ट शो दैट टू इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास, ठीक है, नॉट एबल टू लोकेट इट, चलिए ओके, लेट्स मूव अहेड, आई विल शो यू an abridged prospectus of any big company in the next class, ठीक है, so this is it. So basically you have to, the company has to attach an abridged prospectus, right? But apart from this, if anyone requests for entire prospectus, the bigger prospectus, okay, bigger copy, then you shall provide it if any person asks for it before closing of subscription list and offer. Okay, normally, you know, whenever the prospectus is issued after 30 days, for 30 days it is alive, okay, and after end of 30 days, okay, it is said to be, the offer is said to be closed, okay, normally. So SEBI has some other rules for it, okay, from companies that point of view it is 30 days, okay. So if within that time any person asks specifically for a full copy of prospectus, then you have to give it to them, okay. And again, your fine is only company level, not to officers in default, 50 rupees, 50,000 for each default, ठीक है, आप देख रहे हैं सब कितना सीरियसली ले रहा है एक्ट इसको, ठीक है, ये सब ईच आपको कम लग रहा होगा, लेकिन ये सब ईच डिफॉल्ट है तो बहुत हो जाता है एक्चुअली, once you, if you do not correct yourself in time, you go on sending publication, सबका एक साथ आपको बैठ जाएगा, okay. So if you go on sending without correcting yourself, okay, then whatever you have sent for everything, you will have to pay that fine. So here then, in short, what does this section 33 says? Okay, here this is where I have just given you in short. So seeing this, if you remember this, you will be able to write it, ठीक है. तो आपको ये याद रखना है, ये बोल रहा है, ये बता रहा है हमको ये सेक्शन, ओके, when to provide abridged prospectus, when to provide abridged prospectus, ओके. तो ये बोल रहा है कि एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म के साथ आपको भेजना है, ओके, इनको नहीं भेजना है, इनको नहीं भेजना है, इनको नहीं भी भेजे तो चलता है, नहीं भेजना है नहीं, आप नहीं भी भेजे तो चलता है, भेजे तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, ठीक है. So basically it is showing you when to provide a bridge prospectus. So application form must be accompanied by it always. Okay. And for these two people, you need not send them, these two categories. Then next point is here. Here, see, don't attach in two cases. Okay. This thing. And when to provide whole copy of prospectus. When the person asks for it. जब मांग रहा है कोई आपसे एक्सप्रेसली तो आपको देना है, सीधी बात है बस. ठीक है. तो आपके ये जो है इसको आप याद रख लेंगे ना, ये वाले चीजें मैं ऐसे ये दूंगा आपको इसके साथ. तो जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस. Okay, whatever is mentioned in this part, you will be easily able to write this. Okay, now we have come across second penalty. Okay, 50,000 rupees. ठीक है. Okay, so clear till here. इसमें ऐसा कुछ is nothing complex in this, but these are just laws that we need to know. Okay, because these are relevant to issue of securities, and we're talking about issue of shares now. ठीक है. तो all legal provisions which are relevant to shares and debentures, that we will be studying in this chapter. Okay, so next is refund of application money. Okay, what does this say? After this I'll take your questions. Okay, if any. So refund of application money, if minimum has not been subscribed. Okay, so what is minimum amount? So minimum subscription is 90% of issued capital here. Okay, so if 90% has not been subscribed, then you have to refund the money. Then your project will not go on as planned. Correct, if you do not have enough capital. So if 90% of issued capital has not been subscribed, okay, you have to refund the money. So when do you have to refund? Okay, and some if minimum amount has not been subscribed and some payable on application is not received in time. What is this time here? Time is 30 days, which I told you already, from the date of issue of prospectus or period specified by SEBI. So SEBI is the authority for all capital related things. Okay, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Okay, it's a statutory authority. It deals with all securities and all securities laws basically. So we have a separate topic called securities laws in CS where it is covered, and for you it is covered in your final. Okay, there's some detailed portion about SEBI. Okay, so for now here in the current chapter our focus is mostly in the Companies Act. So because now Companies Act give 30 days, so SEBI gives here about 60 days. Okay, and that too it is different for different categories. Okay, if underwriters are involved, then what? If there are no underwriters, then what? Just specific separate limits in SEBI. Okay, so we leave that. So SEBI is not in inter, we'll study in final. So now we have to concentrate only on Companies Act. Okay, so if minimum amount is not subscribed, then some payable on application is not received in time, that is 30 days from the date of issue of the prospectus. Within 30 days you should receive it. That's your time. Okay, so after the 30 days is completed, repay application money within 15 days from the closure of issue. So here I'll show this to you in a diagram. I've got this diagram here. Okay, तो ये देखिए इसमें क्या है आपका, ये आपका डेट ऑफ इश्यू ऑफ प्रोस्पेक्टस है. ठीक है, अब आपके पास में पूरे यहां से जो है 30 डेज है. आप इश्यू के बाद आप कलेक्ट कीजिए आराम से, जब लोग दे रहे हैं आप कलेक्ट कीजिए. 30 डेज हो गए तो आपका इश्यू क्लोज हो जाता है. ठीक है, तब सेबी के और भी कुछ रेगुलेशंस है, वो जैसे मैंने बोला हमारे परव्यू में नहीं है. ठीक है, तो 30 कंपनीज एक्ट के हिसाब से 30 डेज में इश्यू क्लोज हो जाना चाहिए. Right, in 30 days your issue should close. So from this time, okay, from this time when 30 days is completed, okay, so you have another 15 days here. You see, you have another 15 days. Okay, in 15 days what directors have to do? Okay, they have to refund the money in 15 days, whatever money they have collected, because 90% has not been reached here. 90%, right? This one, minimum subscription. So this has not been reached. So they have to refund the money now. Okay, till here they have not been able to collect 90%. So they have 15 days time to refund everything. If they did not repay, if they did not repay within 15 days. Okay, so after 15 days, directors have to repay it with interest of 15%. It's called jointly and severally. That is, all directors have the liability to repay with 15% interest. Whenever they are repaying after that, 15% interest they'll have to pay. Okay. And of course, that is there. You have to repay with interest. That is one part. There's one more thing here. There is a penalty also. Okay. And it is applicable to company and directors both. Okay. Both of them. How much is the penalty? 1,000 per day. Okay. Up to a maximum of 1 lakh. So each day 1,000 will be given. When it reaches 1 lakh, you'll have to stop. It will not go beyond 1 lakh basically. Okay. So this is this section. So यहाँ, let us just finish reading here. This one. So we finished the repay application money within 15 days. Okay, I showed it to you here. 15 days. Okay. If default, pay 15%. It's called jointly and severally, means all directors together. That's the meaning. Minimum subscription is 90%. And second thing is they have to credit the bank, the same bank account from which money was received. Okay. So if I have bought shares and for application, I have credited the company's account from my bank account. So when they refund it, it should be to the same account. ठीक है, same account में refund करना पड़ता है. बस इतना ही है इसका provision. ठीक है, तो अभी आपको कुछ पूछना है तो पूछ सकते हैं. अगला जो पॉइंट है, इट इज बहुत सिमिलर है इससे, इसी टेबल के ऊपर, तो हम 1-2 मिनट में उसको पूरा कर सकते हैं. We can finish the next table in 2 minutes. Well, it's very much related to the above table. But if you have any questions, you can ask first. कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो आप पूछ सकते हैं यहाँ पे, नहीं तो मैं अगले पॉइंट में जाऊंगा जो कि इससे रिलेटेड है, नहीं तो क्लोज कर सकते थे. Okay.
Sir, can you repeat all these in brief?
The refund part, this one, or?
Yes, sir. Refund part.
Refund part, huh? ठीक है. So see, in refund part, what we have to do is, the first thing is there is a minimum subscription which is 90% of issued capital. Okay, this is the first thing. So if 90% you are not able to collect, you have to refund it. Point number 1. Okay, so 90. So till when will you collect? You will collect within 30 days of date of issue of prospectus. Okay, so this is that. So this is your date of issue of prospectus. Within these 30 days, you will collect. Okay, if till this time you are not able to collect, okay, not able to collect 90% of issued capital, then refund the money back. And what you will do? You will refund the money back, okay, to the shareholders, if you have not been able to collect 90% till this point, right? So this is what,
मतलब सर सभी को रिफंड करना होगा, मतलब जितने भी शेयरहोल्डर्स ने अप्लाई किया
हाँ, आपको सभी को, क्योंकि आपका 90% अगर रीच नहीं हुआ तो यानी फिर ये माना जाता है कि आपका प्रोजेक्ट ही अंडरवे नहीं हुआ, तो आपको सभी को रिफंड करना होगा. आपका अगर 89% भी हो गया तो भी आपको रिफंड करना होगा सभी को. यानी बेसिकली वो बोल रहे हैं कि प्रोजेक्ट को पैक ऑफ करो, आपका कैपिटल नहीं हुआ, दे दो वापस सबके. ओके, सो राइट. So this is basically you have not been able to collect the required capital, so return the entire money. It's like that. Okay. So now for refunding from this point, now this arrow, you have 15 days time. 15 days time you refund back. If you refund it, no problem, no penalty. But after 15 days, okay, once 15 days are done, after 15 days, directors have to give an interest of 15%. Okay, after that if they are paying, but and if they were not able to pay within 15 days, apart from this 15%, another penalty is company and directors both 1,000 per day, maximum of 1 lakh. This they have to give. Okay, that's what this section says. ठीक है, समझ गए सब? और इसमें बस एक और पॉइंट है कि जब आप जो रिफंड करेंगे, जिस बैंक अकाउंट से पैसे मिले हैं उसी में डालना है, आप कैश में ऐसे नहीं दे सकते. अब देखिए एक और पॉइंट मैं इसके साथ ही बता देता हूँ यहाँ, ठीक है, छोटा सा ये है, इसी से रिलेटेड है. तो एक तो ये सेक्शन 39 है. सेक्शन 39 says no allotment till minimum subscription is reached. Correct? We have already talked about that. Application amount shall not be less than 5% of nominal amount. If your nominal amount or face value of shares is 100, then application money should be at least 5 rupees. Okay, but SEBI now asks for 25%, but anyway, leave that. So this is 5%. Okay, and this point already we have seen minimum subscription not subscribed, refund within 13 days. Okay, this is the same thing, 30 days point. So then after all this is done, company has to file with the registrar a return of allotment. Okay, I'll tell you what this is, and then there is some fine. So once we come back in the next session, let's say 7:15, we'll come back on 7:15 and then we'll continue. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.